Hello guys, and welcome back to another video on my channel. Now today it is a match preview. It's Luton Town versus Stoke. Now just like any other match preview, I do talk about the game before, and for Luton that was against Middlesbrough at home where we won 3-1. Now it was great to bounce back from that Preston North End defeat. It was probably one of the worst away performances of the season, and to get the 3 points after in the next game against Middlesbrough, it's great to see. Now the first half against Middlesbrough was very poor. I would say Middlesbrough were the better side, but despite that we still looked like we could score. And I think when you're playing badly and you still look like you're going to score, I can only think that's only a good thing. We had two opportunities in that game, well, in the first half, to try and score. Unfortunately, we didn't. Harry Cornick had a chance, and then James Bree and Adebayo got into each other's way, and unfortunately, we weren't able to get the ball over the line. But Middlesbrough's goal, such an easy goal for them to score from. They cut us open like through the middle, literally from our set piece as well. Goalkeeper just threw the ball out, and yeah, they literally just counted from there. Should have done a lot better from our perspective. Very poor goal to concede. But we bounced back in the second half. You know, Luton on a Tuesday night is a very good place to be at. The atmosphere it's one of a kind, I would say. You know, obviously I'm going to be a bit biased, but I love it. You know, on a Tuesday, Wednesday night, Friday night, in fact, it's just brilliant. You know, night games are always good at Luton, and as soon as we scored that first goal, you just felt like we could go on to win the game. And Middlesbrough were pretty much there for the taking. Sonny Bradley, his goal, you know, free header in the box. It did take a deflection, but we'll take it, you know. And then literally a minute or 2 minutes after, Adebayo causing so many problems. And you have to say fair play to Adebayo. He dealt with some physical centre-back, like some physical defenders, which he has done plenty of times this season. And he's held his own. You know, he works his absolute socks off. And I do think if Adebayo continues the way he's going, we're going to find it hard to not allow him to go, because there are going to be clubs after him. There will be clubs after him, because there's great potential there. He could go on to play in the Premier League if he wants to. He's still young. He's got so much about him. And Nathan Jones has come out in his interviews and said that there's still more to get out of him. So I can't wait to see like the complete striker he is. You know, people referring him as like Ivan Toney, which is great to see. And his goal was just, you know, it's such a well taken goal. He bullies defenders, you know, he wins his headers, you know, and even if he doesn't win the first one, he will still battle for the second or for the third, and it's great to see. And his goal was well taken. And then after the second goal, a minute, 2 minutes later after that, we literally scored 3 goals in 5 minutes. Harry Cornick, we high pressed Middlesbrough's like defence. They were playing it out from the back. And we win the ball back. Their defender tried to win a cheap free kick. It was never going to work. Harry Cornick was free, like clean through on goal. He hits the shot, but with Harry Cornick, you know, if it goes to the back of the net, it goes in the back of the net. And that's what matters the most. And Cornick's having a much better season than he did last season. You know, he's a lot more confident in front of goal. I think when Cornick doesn't have to think about it, it goes in. When he has to think about it, it's when things go wrong for him. But, you know, I'm glad that he is scoring. Like, I do get on his back a little bit because he does miss big chances, but he does work hard, and he works hard week in, week out, and you clearly do see that from Harry Cornick, you know. And what a well taken goal. Well, I say well taken. I'm glad that he got the third goal, which pretty much killed the game off, to be honest. And then we defended well to obviously get the 3 points. Now we go into this Stoke game, you know, I'm not on form, but, you know, on a win. You know, we've got that momentum which we're hopefully going to take from Middlesbrough into this game. Now Nathan as well, we all know the history between obviously Nathan Jones, Luton and Stoke. You know, since he's been a Luton manager, he hasn't had one over Stoke, so let's hope this time round, you know, we are a much better team than we have been. This is probably the strongest which we've been in the Championship, that we can try and get one over Stoke. And what a way to do it at home. Now, some Stoke fans think Nathan Jones is the worst manager in their history. You know, I just don't think it was the right move for Nathan Jones. He learnt a lot, and I just want to say thank you to Stoke, because he's now returned back as a better manager. You know, I've seen like an interview this week come from like Ryan Shawcross, and he talked about Nathan Jones' time at the club and how Nathan tried to change too much too quickly, and he probably needed a lot more time than he was given to do that, which is a very fair point. You know, Nathan needed a lot more time than what he was going to get. Unfortunately, at a club like Stoke, you're not going to get given that time, especially in the Championship. They want instant success. They want to go back up to the Premier League. Nathan was never going to get given that time. At Luton, you get given that time because of, I just don't know. I think our owners are very patient, and we do reckon, you give someone long enough, they can get improvements and they can sort things out. But Stoke, they are a good side. Now, O'Neill, he's come in at Stoke and he's got them winning games of football. We still finished above them last season, so even then, he still didn't do too well of a job. But this year, this is the year where I think a lot of Stoke fans are expecting to get a playoff position. They need to be there come the end of the season. Otherwise, it will be looked at as a failure, in my opinion. With that squad, with the finances they have, they have a lot better finances than a lot of teams in the league, I don't know if they're still getting their Premier League money, when you get relegated. I'm not too sure. But soon that's going to run out and they're going to need to, instantly get back up, because when that money goes, that's when the books don't get balanced and stuff like that, but they've got a lot of money, they're owned by Bet365, so there's a lot of money there for Stoke to, go on and do really good things. But they've got great players there, you've got your Fletchers, you've got your Powells, you've got your Chesters at the back, they have a really good spine in that squad to do well and to go on to do better things, plenty of experience, plenty of youngsters there. They've got a really good balance within the squad. So you expect Stoke to be in and around those playoff positions. But this game, I think not the Luton players really, but Nathan, he's going to really want to get one over Stoke now. It's been a while. He hasn't had a win over them. I don't think we've had a really good record against Stoke. In fact, even without Jones in the Championship, I think since being in the Championship, we've just not had a good record against them. I think we're yet to beat them as well. So hopefully this time round, we can finally do it at home. It's going to be, hopefully the atmosphere is going to be good, and we expect to see a great game of football. It's not going to be easy. We do have an extra day on Stoke because we did play on the Tuesday and they played on the Wednesday. So hopefully that comes into account, that we're going to be maybe the more fitter side, I'd say. We've got, a bit of fresher legs, but fingers crossed we can get the win. Now, for me, the starting 11 which I would play against Stoke would be the same team that played in the second half when Onyedinma came on. I don't know why Dan Potts started against Stoke, against Middlesbrough. In fact, he hasn't done it well enough. He looked poor as well. He looked off the pace. Start Onyedinma at that. If we're going to play 5 at the back, play him as a left wing back or something. I would rather do that than play Dan Potts. Dan Potts, for me, is just not good enough. Now, he gets injured too frequently, and he just looked way off the pace. He just didn't look like he was ever going to do anything good in that game. And he nearly conceded a penalty against Middlesbrough as well. So, yeah, I would play roughly the same team that played in the second half against Middlesbrough. My score prediction, I reckon it's going to be a tight game. I'm going to go with a 1-1 draw. Obviously, I do want Luton to go on to win the game, but I do reckon it's going to be a draw, just due to how well Stoke are and the quality which they have in their side. So, guys, that is the end of the video. Hopefully, you guys did enjoy my match preview. Drop a like on the video if you did. Comment below your score predictions and your starting 11s that you would play against Stoke. Subscribe to the channel if you are new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.